Give a warm welcome for Mandy Jordan.
So here's the thing. I love kids. I always have. About 5 years ago, I got involved with Big Brothers Big Sisters, and it's been one of the best decisions I've ever made. For those of you who don't know, Big Brothers Big Sisters' mission is to create life-changing friendships. All the kids in the program come from single-parent households, and the agency strategically matches these littles with a caring big brother, big sister, or big couple. I met my little Ariel in 2013. She was 12. When we met, our case manager gave us this folder of paperwork, and the cover was designed with photos of bigs and littles. And Ariel took one look at that folder, locked eyes with me, and was like, "Our picture's going to be on that folder someday." And it was that kind of positivity and confidence that made me realize we were a perfect match right away. Still, it took a while for us to get to know each other. Setting boundaries without coming across as a disciplinarian is hard. The first time she came to my apartment, took it upon herself to go through all my drawers, and I mean all of them. The whole first year was really hard, not because of her, but because I had to get clear about why I was doing this. I had to let go of how I thought things should be and just show up for this little girl week after week. It wasn't my job to judge her or tell her how to behave. It was just my job to be present and try to set a good example. After that first year, we got into a rhythm. We could be honest, tease each other, read each other's moods, and we genuinely liked being around each other. We had built trust. Eventually, we even had our first fight, and now it's all we can do to keep from fighting because she's 17 and has all her feelings all the time. We've taken trips together, seen each other through major milestones like me teaching her to drive and her helping me pick out a venue for my wedding. We spent 2 years making payments on a school trip to China, and just last month she realized her dream of visiting Shanghai, Xi'an, and Beijing. Right now, we are planning college visits together, and it blows me away that this time next year she'll be getting ready to graduate. She's my family. As a culture, we tend to associate service with selflessness, but when I ask myself why I got involved and why I stay involved, the answer isn't altruism, it's just love. When you have love to give, it feels good to give it away, it feels right. And the strange and beautiful thing about love is the more you give, the more you get, and the more you get, the more you want to give. It's this self-propelling system, and it really doesn't take much to get it going. It could be something as simple as just showing up once a week for a kid who needs a little love that sets something powerful in motion. Thank you.
And now, Grace Spiker.
In the fall of 2016, the city of Aleppo, Syria, was under siege. For my sister Arya and I, it was becoming a familiar feeling of frustration, watching horrible events repeatedly unfold on TV. Then, something clicked for us after saying, "Why isn't anybody doing anything to stop this?" What clicked was that we were capable of doing something. We could choose to go beyond the Facebook thoughts and prayers blanket statements and sad face emojis, and we could choose to act. For Arya and I, that action ended up taking the form of a one-year program we created and we called Ally Up, in which we supported 12 nonprofits with their goals of providing aid, dignity, empowerment to victims in war-stricken areas. I designed the logo, monthly print, and web collateral. Arya used her skills to develop the monthly programs. To encourage further reach, we tried to provide unique ways for others to collaborate, leaning into their talents when possible. 2 examples. In May, we worked with Any Refugee. This is a program where a person can send a postcard of hope to a refugee child overseas. In order to make a larger impact, we reached out to the Nilsson Atkins. The museum featured Ally Up at one of their Third Thursday events. We brought postcards and art supplies, and they provided tables, chairs, and more art supplies. And within a few hours, over 200 beautiful postcards were created. They were heartfelt, and they were designed by people from all walks of life who simply needed an avenue to express their support. In June, we focused on Project Cure's Kits for Kids, in which we gathered scarce medicine cabinet items for children. Filling the kits wasn't the problem, but filling the large message area on the front of the kit was. What could we write that could convey support to a child who has undergone and was still undergoing so much? Cheer up, it'll get better. Nothing felt right. We ended up collaborating with the writer Doug Salva, and he came up with the perfect statement. You are special. Here's a little something to help you stay that way. This collaboration brought meaning to the things that we had gathered. For me, it was Aleppo. For you, it may be a very different subject. But if you are in this room, it is because you are one of the best in the world at what you do. You are some of the top lettering artists, writers, photographers, illustrators, graphic designers, painters, fabric artists, editors, videographers, visualizers, collaborators, and creative problem solvers. Just think, if you use that talent to enact change, how powerful that can be. You can push back against the ugliness in the world. And if you collaborate, inspire, and make a way for others to act, that difference will be even further felt. The next time that you feel that reoccurring sense of why isn't anybody doing anything to stop this, know that it is within your creative talent and your creative power to act. Thank you.
Give a warm welcome for Helen Thaler.
Last spring, I received a message on Facebook from my friend Kathy. Kathy and I go way back to the days of middle school and church camp. Kathy was wondering if Hallmark had stickers with more adult content. To have church camp Kathy asking me about stickers with adult content, I had to find out more. She was working at the Mayo Clinic, drawing blood on patients who had health issues. She saw them and thought so many seemed down, and she wanted a way to cheer them up. She thought maybe stickers with uplifting or humorous messages would do the trick. Well, I had previously worked on Hallmark's sticker line, and I knew that wasn't our target market. I couldn't find a product like that. So I told Kathy about the hashtag My5Days opportunity that Hallmark offers us, and I told her I could give one of my 5 days and make the stickers for her. I mean, how could I resist? I was immediately vested in the idea, and I understood the need firsthand, as just 2 years before, I had been one of those patients getting her blood drawn. I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I started thinking back to the patients I watched during chemo, the frail older man with his head hung low. He just didn't look like he was up for the fight. Or the spunky mom with 4 young boys whose ex-husband showed up to sit with her through treatments. Wow, she was tough on the outside, but no doubt scared on the inside. And me? Well, I have to admit, I was a little ticked. It was my twins' senior year of high school, and I would be attending their graduation bald. I had experience that was fueling ideas for sheets of stickers. So my little MacBook and I powered through my dedicated day, and I cranked out about 12 designs to send to Kathy. She was excited by her patients' reactions, but especially tickled by the unassuming little blonde woman that chose the badge of badassness sticker. I would have picked that one too. I wore socks my friend gave me to chemo that had the F word on them. I had an idea that stickers with attitude might be popular. Then the nurses on her floor started asking for stickers. Boy, this hashtag 5-day was turning into a hashtag 5 months. I mailed the last batch of stickers, but I couldn't stop thinking about them. Here was an idea that was making a difference for patients, but even more their caregivers. To see if they would resonate with others, I shared them with my oncologist at my last cancer-free checkup. I brought the bag for her to share with the patients there, and she took the bag excitedly and later tweeted, "They were a hit." So this experience helped me to use skills in my day job in a new way. As an art director, I have a skill I call photo slop. My team knows it well. It's how I quickly combine words and images to communicate an idea. And on this day, I used that special skill, paired with my own personal experience, to help a friend lift up others. It's a little like that idea of taking lemons and making lemonade. So what are your lemons? You know, they just might provide that creative spark within you to make a difference for someone else. You know, we are in the business of making a genuine difference in every life, every day, right? So maybe even on one of your 5 days. Thank you.